Hello, friends, and welcome. I keep hoping that Hunter is gonna make an appearance, but she was just laying down so cute, and as soon as I put the camera up in the setup, she was like, "Pshoo." So we'll see if maybe we get a Hunter spotting a little later. Find yourself in your nice long spine with your buttocks bones anchored down into the earth as if they had roots and were growing down, getting their nutrients from the earth. Imagine that the crown of the head gently reaches up to its source, right? That cosmic energy above. And then with your inhale, just imagine filling that space with prana. And in this way, we work with that central channel. And in Sanskrit, the word for that is Sushumna. Checking in with that holistic body, whatever that means to you today. Without judgment, and of course trying to accept everything as it is. And let your first move be that one where we imagine that the crown of the head has a pencil on it and the canvas above it. If you prefer a paintbrush, you're welcome to it, right? But go ahead and just start to draw a side-lying figure 8 on the canvas above your head. And if you did open your eyes to look at me, that is all right. Once you see what's going on and you got it figured out, close your eyes again and just try to move as slowly as you can. Well, maybe not as slowly, on the slower side, so that you can use as few muscles as possible and really just bring awareness to the neck. Go ahead and go the other way. And then if you want to open your eyes for this, you can, but as you start to turn your head back to the right, you're going to teeter down to the right. And then you're going to turn and look up, and you're going to teeter over to the left. So not quite as much of a figure 8 as just mobilizing the neck and letting the spine follow the direction the eyeballs end up facing. If any of this makes you dizzy, you could A, just stop, B, try to go a little slower and see if that makes a difference. I used to do circles and circles and circles and dance and gymnastics and play. I can't do that anymore. I have to go pretty slow with this stuff. Okay, the next time you're over to the right, we're going to meet over there. We're going to bring our fingertips, we're still looking down, our fingertips up on our left shoulder, and let that left elbow just start to circle. Now go ahead and imagine that your eyeballs start to follow the elbow. And again, just whatever pace works where you can be mindful and go through range of motion. Go ahead and go the other way with that. And you can, amplify it. If the elbow comes forward and you want to turn a little further in, you can play with it, experiment, explore. And then go ahead and come on up. You're going to look down, move over to the left, bring fingertips on elbow, and just pause. And then as you start to circle the elbow, if it feels all right with your body, you might turn your eyeballs towards the elbow, right? Just basically meaning you're going to follow the same circle with your head that you're doing with your arm. And then maybe go the other way if that feels all right. So we're trying to get Vata her movement. She really likes to move, and it's her season. Right, but we're trying to keep it slow and steady and stay anchored. Come on up. Go ahead and let your arms just start to move around. If you're close to the ground or seated, of course you would just maybe sit a little higher or swing the arms a little bit wider. And I'm not going into full bore swing, right? I'm just kind of moving them around and bringing my body into the twist. Really gentle, light twist to start. And And then the next time you're over to the right, let's bring left hand outer right leg somewhere. Left fingertips ground, hip, block, you name it. Get nice and tall and use your arms. Keep the sideways turned on, right? But use your arms to, move a little bit deeper into the twist. Now you're going to try and stabilize everything from your shoulders down and turn your head and look back over your left shoulder. And then turn your head and look back over your right shoulder. And turn your head and look over your left shoulder. And turn back and look at it. So now we're going to get even weirder and more intricate. Look back even as you turn your head forward. The lower body still doesn't move. Anything from the shoulders down, I mean. And then turn your eyeballs forward. Now keep your eyeballs forward as your head turns back without straining the eyes. Don't be crazy with that, right? And look back. One more time forward. Look back. The eyes stay looking back as the head turns forward. Let your eyes turn forward. Let your body turn forward. Close the eyes. Buttocks down. Crown of the head up. Fill the air with space. So we're also playing a little bit with that. What I'll call your vestibular system, right, which is part of your balance system with that work, but we're also working with your neural networking of the eyes. There's probably a whole lot more going on that I don't even know about. Now go ahead and just go back into that gentle swinging. You know, who knows, but maybe you feel more open on the right since we just twisted that way, but that may or may not be true. Observe. And then the next time you go to the left, stay. Right hand outer left leg, left fingertips back. Get tall first, right? Sideways stays active as we use the arms to move in. Now, nothing from the shoulders lower moves for the rest of this, hopefully, something like that anyway, right? Without being too rigid. Go ahead and turn and look over that right shoulder for you, sorry. And then turn and look back over that left shoulder. One more time, just the head. The eyes are going the same way as the head. Explore and experience that, right? And then turn and look back. Now you're going to look back and keep your eyeballs looking back to the left even as your head turns to the right without strain. Turn the eyeballs forward. Keep looking forward as you turn your head and look back. And let your eyes move back. One more time, you're going to turn and look forward while your eyes look back. And then turn and look forward. Release the body forward. Coming off of your setup, your sits bones. Let's do a couple of cat-cows. They're the last of the 6 motions we haven't touched yet, right? So just moving in and out of flexion and extension. Noticing your spine in these 2 movements. And then see if you can let your ribs move down, to the right, up, to the left, down, to the right, up, and to the left. We're going to reverse that. Down, to the left, up, and to the right, down, to the left, up, and to the right. And then go ahead and come right back to the center. Stabilize all of those pelvic stabilizers we've been working with, yeah? And just, I'm going to say it once extensively, and then every time I say pelvic stabilizers, I mean all of these, right? So your pelvic floor, including the perineum, right? Your outer hips, the abductors, your corset, which runs all the way in the body, but we tend to focus on the front side of that, and find that those are all working for you, as well as the upper back, right? So I'm looking a little forward. My shoulder blades not slamming together, but they're also not rounded around my body. Right? And then here we go. We're going to try and lift limbs. You know you can lift just one if it's better for you. Right arm and left leg are going to lift. We've been working this for a few months now, right? And bringing that down. Does it feel like it's getting more stable? Or maybe there's a day where it usually does and it doesn't now. Or maybe you've never felt stable and today it does. Or right? Whatever that is. Keep those pelvic stabilizers and the upper back, so all the core muscles, right? Try to keep the torso and the pelvis completely neutral. They never move, 1 iota, ha 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 ha, even as you lift the limbs. Let's do one more of that series. And if you're not on my timing, that is okay. Let's move back into child's pose and take just a few moments there. I'm going to keep my upper body just a little higher. One of my hip issues is with tons of flexion. It gets a little tight, and I just got a chiropractic adjustment, right? So I'm going to take care of my body. But if it feels nice for you to go all the way down, you should. I'm rocking a little bit from right to left with my hippies. And then we're going to do another little motion into that, right? So you're going to come up onto hands and knees, and then both your shins will go to the left as you sit back towards your right hip. You don't have to go all the way back, by the way. You can come on up. You might just, and I'll show the modification, shins to the right, and my hips might just move back to the left. It might not be okay for me to go all the way back down, or I just might not want to today, right? So the motion is either just moving the hips back a little bit as the shins kick to one side, the hips move the other way, or depending on your body, you might bring it all the way back, right? And then come back up. So many things behind this pose, but one of the ideas is that, you know, as we get older, trying to get up from the ground can become more difficult, right? So if we were on the ground and we can manage this with our shins, maybe we can start to move towards getting up. And then go ahead and come on back to center. Now curl your toes under, move your hands back to your knees. This would be the next stage of getting up. You're going to push the hips up to the sky and then bend your knees. I'm going to switch sides so I'm talking more towards my microphone, which is facing you. So from there, bend the knees a lot, almost like you could lay your ribs on your thighs. Grab your elbow points and soften in. Again, I'm going to leave myself with a little bit straighter of a spine today. So you're hanging in, maybe grabbing elbow points. I'm going to reach my chest forward because that's more beneficial for me. You could also do this if you find it more beneficial for you. And then go ahead and put your hands on your hips, elbows up, and come all the way up to standing. Ah, we did it, we did it. From there, standing in about standing about hip distance, right? You could be a little wider too, depends on what feels right. Inhale, reach those arms up. We're going to get sideways. Grab your left wrist, lean to the right. Coming back to center. Grab your right wrist, lean to the left. Back to center. Now walk your feet a little wider. Grab your left wrist, and when you lean to the right this time, let your hips kick over, not forward, not back, kick over to the left, if it feels all right in your body. Come back up, grab onto that wrist, and again, as I lean left, I'm going to let my hips kick over to the right just a little bit. Coming back to center, bring those hands down. Go ahead and step those feet out nice and wide. Time to take the sockies off. No! If you feel like you can't get down to the ground with a bent knee, the blocks would be really beneficial tools here. We're going to try and have our feet facing forward, inhaling the arms out. We bend the left knee, bringing the right hand down, right? And then we're going to push into that hand and try to rotate the ribs. And then maybe we turn and look up. And then on your inhale, I want you to arrive back to where we started, all the way standing, arms teed out to the side, right? Remember this twist? Now let's try to add breath. Bending left knee, right hand down. That's the exhale. Inhale, pushing into right hand, rotating ribs. Exhale, turn and look up towards the top hand if it's okay. And inhale, arms out wide. I did the breath right, woohoo. Exhale, left, right. Inhale, twist. Exhale, turn and look up. So the head is the last thing to come into the twist today. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. Inhale, use that bottom hand to twist. Exhale, turn and look up. We are not in a rush. Inhale, coming up to center again. Can you find that balance of giving yourself the movement that Vata wants? Exhaling in. Inhale and twist, but finding the strength, the steadiness, and the rooted turning and looking up. And inhaling back up to your center. Exhaling over, last one. Inhale, deepen the ribs. Exhale, turn and look up. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Go ahead and turn your legs out to the right. If you need to widen your stance or shorten it, adjust for Warrior Two. Inhale the arms out wide. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Keep your head in line with your chest for now. Exhale, bend on in, right? And again, just double check. Look back at that left hand. Make sure the left hand is indeed the height of the shoulder and not somewhere else. That's proprioceptive sense. And we can change that, by the way. If you always think your arm is shoulder height here and we come to it enough, we can change the mental map, right? So then I'm going to keep this shoulder open and back, even as I turn my head only, and look over the right shoulder-ish, the right hand, whatever you want to call that. Okay, reverse warrior. Left hand down, turn the right palm up, and lengthen right side body. The pelvis stays stable. Inhaling into side angle, reaching that top arm over if it feels okay. Hand could definitely be on hip. Breathing there. What are your usual things that you do, and can you find those? Right? And then we're going to move into triangles. Reach your left fingertips up. Go ahead and start to straighten that leg. Let the body come up a little bit initially, right? Suck that right hip in. That's your abductors. Tone the pelvic floor, tone the corset and upper back. And then keeping that, right? Maybe maybe creeping those right fingertips down. If I put you against a wall, this is always a great question to come to in triangle. Would your right hip and your left shoulder blade be against the same wall? Would the back of your head be against the same wall, right? And breathing. And then if those shoulders are nice and soft, maybe you do turn and look up. But that's also a balancing thing. Inhale up. And if your neck feels really tense holding that, why bother? Turning the toes forward. Maybe it feels okay to turn the head here, right? You're not working as much against gravity, but when you're in that line, maybe it hurts or whatever that is, or just feels strained or strenuous, then don't do it. Just don't do it. Turning to the left. I give you permission. I just wrote you a permission slip. Inhale, chest and eyeballs forward, or in alignment for now. Exhaling in. Inhale up. I shouldn't say in alignment. Facing the same direction would be a better way to say that. Exhaling in. Don't worry about the neck quite yet. Inhaling up and exhaling in. Again, I want you to turn back and look at the right arm. Is it the height of the shoulder? If you're, favoring it, obviously I'm not talking to you, but otherwise, if not, adjust it and then mentally map that, right? Now try to keep that right shoulder exactly where it is. Don't let it turn, even as the head turns to look forward over the left fingertips. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Now drop the right hand down, turn the left palm up, keeping the hips nice and stable, the legs nice and stable. Lengthen out of that side waist. And then reaching all the way forward, keeping the length of the left side body, we move towards side angle with any variation that makes it more accessible for us today, whatever that means in your body, right? Reaching those fingertips up. I'm going to straighten the leg and bring the whole body up a little bit. Suck the left outer hip in, pelvic floor, corset, all this stuff, right? And then maybe I do creep down a little bit, maybe not. If my shoulders are out of my ears, I might have access to turning and looking up, but I might not, or it just might feel more strenuous than I'd like today, or it might screw with my balance or whatever that is. So you could look forward or down. They're all on the table. I'm going to look forward. My neck has had enough tension lately. And inhale, coming up. Turning the toes forward. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Standing up nice and tall. Close your eyes, or mostly close them anyway. Where's the weight in your feet? And whatever the answer to that was, can you distribute? Maybe you already have that, but most people don't, right? We all usually have an inclination into some pattern. That's not equal distribution. So can you equally distribute the weight between the ball mounds of the big toes, the ball mounds of the pinky toes, and the very center of the heel bone? Again, can you imagine, visualize with me? You know I'm a visualizer, right? That each of those 6 points, because you've got 2 feet, 3 on each, have roots growing down into the earth. What would your roots look like? Tree roots, flower roots? Are they more like cords or cables? Who am I to tell you what would be the thing that would help you in your visualization? The grounding part, yeah, right? The rooting down, so to speak, yeah. But what you use to root down, that is all you. I even had someone tell me once that they don't do the 6 spots, but they imagine both feet having just rays of light going down deep into the earth. Awesome. That grounds you. Oh, yeah. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale. Exhale, gently bowing that head in. And may you be ready for whatever comes next in your day. May you feel like you've gotten some movement so that Vata is sated, but still feeling grounded, right, with a calm mind. That is my hope for you. Namaste, friends.